And actually, yes, we are stakeholders. Basically, we are a national partner organization of CSR Europe, and we use the marketplace that we are here in today as a wonderful opportunity to get in contact with other national partners, with companies, and of course with politicians and media. Because you see, the issue about CSR is that in many companies and in many institutions you have CSR professionals working in the field, and of course we see it positively that this field of expertise is growing these days. Still, those people working on the issue of CSR do work sometimes in a more or less isolated environment. So for those kinds of people it's very, very important to gather with other experts to exchange how best to get CSR on track within the broad lines of the companies and of the institutions, to exchange with politics as we do here today with the Commission, to get in contact with press as you are, and of course just to get new ideas, what kind of projects one could start, how maybe better to do things. So basically, if you're interested in CSR in Europe, this is the place you have to attend, and this is not the first time the marketplace has been happening. It is, I think, the fifth time. And it's always a fabulous, really fabulous opportunity for everyone here to exchange name cards, to exchange ideas, and to get new impulses for this very, very interesting debate on CSR. Basically, Econsense, where I work for, is a national partner organization. We are representing 28 German multinational companies, but we are only a German partner of CSR Europe. There is partners for almost every country in Europe, and those people come together here too and discuss topics, sustainability and CSR issues that are relevant for all countries in Europe. And we took up those impulses that we got here in the past years and, for example, made this demographic risk atlas. Basically, it's a piece of scientific background work which shows you who might be interested in demographic change how in all 264 regions in Europe demographic change has, from 1990 until 2030, will be developing. What does that mean for productivity, for companies, for the sustainable environment in which they work? So basically, yes, those are the kinds of impulses that lead to concrete products. Those are the impulses that lead to new thinking and also to collaboration within the collaborative ventures of Enterprise 2020 and in other formats as well. That, of course, is one very interesting thing. Answering your question to a different angle, we just spoke to the Commission in terms of the issue of business and human rights. That is one aspect of the CSR debate which is becoming more and more relevant these days. And it was very, very interesting to talk to the Commission today and to see what the political side intends to do where they're standing today and to align with them, and to see where possibly one could go together with politics in order to foster that specific issue of business and human rights. If I would know what would happen in 2020, I would bet my money in it, not work anymore, and I would be a fine man. Now, it's not about foreseeing how things will be. It's not about that when it comes to Enterprise 2020. It's about where are we standing today when it comes to enterprises, and are they ready for the future when it comes to sustainability and CSR? And what needs to be done to make them competitive and ready for the future in terms of sustainability? And the year 2020 is just a year that has been selected because if you talk to the WBCSD, the World Business Council on Sustainable Development, they have a vision 2050. That is farther away. CSR Europe, I think that is a good step, decided, no, we're going to look a little bit closer to the time we do have now. It's not too far away, it's not too close. It's 10 years from now, basically. And where are we going to be standing in 10 years in terms of the social and ecological impact of those companies attending here today? And what will be the benefit that companies will be providing to society once they have taken the next step in the next 10 years? And I think that's a wonderful question to ask. We're all very eager to see the results then, and I hope to see you back in 10 years and maybe we'll have the answers then. In the whole issue of sustainability and CSR, yes. Starting from the values that Europe stands for, I think so very much, but also in terms of where do we see Europe as a business ground in the future to come. And I strongly believe that those companies here and any company represented in Europe will only be successful in the future to come once they understand that sustainability is a key issue for them and they adapt their specific needs to the thinking of sustainability, taking the global developments such as climate change, demographic change, migration, all those things that are very, very important into account in putting up new strategies for their specific businesses. And once they do that, they are ready for the future and ready for 2020.